My name is Gloria, and I've been your person in the shadows taking care of AMS-IX software for a very, very long time. For so long that in my family we are about to start celebrating the Mother Day, the Father Day, and the Stephen Day. And today I'm going to lead you, I'm going to tell you how we integrated our new Junipers that you have seen in previous talks before, how we integrated in our software stack, and we will also, I've been here so long that I'm able to take you through our technical dev and see how we were able to integrate this, taking into account how things were. So let's go to the past, to when I started. And, well, when I entered, this was more or less the state. We have a person or nowadays. They receive calls from the customers. Then the customers wanted to reserve a board. Then these people passed the order to the NOC. You see the NOC, how they had to be in those days, right? And the NOC put it manually in our database, our famous XML. And then they, of course, look at the monitoring systems, check that everything were right. And if everything was OK, they log into the switch, and they started to apply configuration. This was not scalable, right? So soon enough, what they did is the following. So we still had human operators, and then we still had the database, the NOC, multitasking NOC, and the MLX. They started to introduce scripting, and the first script that they introduced is the MLX provision. So the MLX provision is one script in which the NOC could. My glasses don't work anymore, that's the problem. In which, then the NOC could introduce commands, and the configuration was automatically added, which was already a big improvement, right? My fellows there didn't have to type any line in the MLX interface. They were in bulk. So this was the first script, and this is how I found things. By the way, you see other scripts in the corner that were the other scripts for many, many, many usages. You need a lot of scripts to run an internet exchange, and they were reading from this database and doing their operations. So monitoring scripts, statistics scripts, root servers, etc., etc., etc. So this was the status, and let's see what happened next. What happened next? That people were very tired. This was not scalable. We need to fix it. And then some of my colleagues added our first portal, the famous AMS-IX, and short after, we wrote the auto-provision. So the auto-provision is one script which took the orders that the customer introduced themselves from the AMS-IX and automated everything. So now the poor NOC multitasking and doing secretary work was replaced by the auto-provision. The auto-provision could write in the database, read from the database, and interact with all the monitoring scripts, the PXCD, the statistics, so everything was automated. And then at the end, if everything was all right, then the auto-provision contacted the MLX provision to configure the switch. So all this first script, the auto-provision, replaced the multitasking NOC to help my colleagues to do their job in a more modern way. But what happened after? Well, in our journey to fix the technical debt, what we did is to make the portal to write directly to the database. So instead, our old, nice, and horrible XML. we made a proper database, which the website was, which our portal was speaking to. Well, it was a big migration back then, and then all the systems, started to talk to the same database, and we put another script called the DB interface there. So then, if we decided to change our formatting of the database, we are future-proof. Right? We don't have to change all those million mini scripts that you see in the corner. We don't have to change our provision stack. We just have to change that script, which is facing the database, and everything would work. So we were here, Benson, What happened next? That the SLX appeared in the picture, a new brand kind of switch. So what did we do back then? We have the MLX provision, so we created the SLX provision, another script able to introduce different commands and apply a different logic to configure the new brand of switches. In order to keep the rest of the scripts transparent, we also introduced the super provision, which is an upper layer and is mostly an interface. So the auto provision talks the same language to the super provision, and the super provision decides, is this a switch that we're trying to configure an MLX? Is this an MLX? Is this an SLX? I will diverge the order to whoever I need to diverge it. So we were like this. And this year, the Junipers appeared. Well, they appeared sooner, but for me, I started to work on this year. So, whoa, we have the Junipers here, we have time constraints, what are we going to do, right? Are we going to put here Juniper provision and just make the super provision talk to it? Really? Do we want to go that way again? Nope. No! No! Horror! What did we do? Did we do this? Aye, aye, aye. You know what? Furthermore, all these scripts are written in Perl. My beloved Perl, Stephen beloved Perl, which Knock and new generations of developers doesn't seem to like at all. They are like, oh, Perl, it's so beautiful, but they don't get it. So we make a course, right? We make a course, and what happened in the course? That all the tools that to face the Juniper were in Python. They were assuming that they would do it in Python. I was like, oh my God, now it's Python. What would it be tomorrow? And the day after, I'm so old. I have been languages. I have seen languages coming and go. So I said, no, we have to change this. We have to make it language transparent. So yeah, we did Juniper provision. Notice the different color. It's Python. My Knock is happy. They can look at it. But, you know, I cannot connect the super provision directly to there because the super provision, all the scripts that you see in white, they are Perl. What did we do? The power super provision. So the power super provision, we took the logic from we analyzed, you know, that's, this is detective me, analyzing what was common in the logic of MLX provision and in the SLX provision that we could extrapolate also to Juniper provision and to whatever they want to add in the future. So detective me took the conclusions and moved most of this logic to super provision. So super provision, instead of just an interface, it started to be really the powerful one. You see how I made it more fat? Is the powerful script which contains all the AMS-IX logic and what we could take in common. So super provision now is hyper-powered. We have Juniper provision in Python. What did we do? Oh boy, my Knox love this. YAML. So super provision, instead of calling these scripts directly, what it does is generate a YAML file. And notice that, because you have my favorite, that's the DB interface, which is up there, which is also Perl. Juniper is in Python. They cannot read it, but doesn't matter, because super provision looks at it and generates a YAML file with all the commands it needs and with all the information from the database previously digested. So then we just can call the SLX provision in any way we want. You know, we just started, so right now we are just doing a call in the command line, but we can do anyway, you know. That's why the arrow with the stars, leaving to the imagination, now can generate these Juniper files and call super provision. You know, they can create new scripts that they just generate these files and call super provision. They can go to their, oh my God, name, guys, the tool you love, Ansible. They can go to Ansible, then in case they need to do something quick in all the switches, generate the format of the new YAML files we define, and call the Juniper provision. We can do anything now. So these are quickly, you don't need to read them, but these are all the instructions that you can send to Juniper provision. They are quite simple, right? Build an ACL, delete an ACL, add a port to an ACL. So you can generate mini YAML files with these commands. You can insert information like which port do you want, which rate, limit, blah, blah, blah. And then Juniper provision will take care of it no matter from where you call it. In the future, if we have blah, blah, blah provision, we just need to build a mini package in whatever language, which has the same support, we support the same YAML format than Juniper provision, and we will be done. So this migration for me and for my team was painful, right? Because we had to build the superpowered super provision, but that's it. It will be much more easy the next time. And this is how our YAMLs look like. Quite simple, right? So they follow the AMS-IX logic, and each action that is called for the portal generates a group of these, which are fed to the script, and they are implemented, and they are executed in one same commit. So it's quite fast and simple. And if you want to generate these files manually, you can, and you can call it. And as I was telling, you can have more scripts looking at this. And that was it. So we have this was both at the same time Juniper introduction and technical dev talk. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer. No?